how's it going? Welcome back to another one. We are jumping back into No Man's Skies today, and we're going to be talking about constructing your own starship, which is going to be really cool. I've already done this before, but I'm going to be making this in my pirate walkthrough. I actually recently acquired a S-Class reactor, so I'm very excited because I get to actually use a S-Class ship that I made myself. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So what we're going to plan on doing is we're going to be showing how you get those parts, and then we're going to actually build out our ship and upgrade it with the proper items that I would like to upgrade it. We will be talking about adding on additional slots as well to your ship, which you can unlock from just doing certain missions and like your freighters and frigates. Using some of those in this as well to upgrade our S-Class even higher, which is going to be super, super nice. So let's jump into it. So first things first, you need to understand what you would actually like to build off of. I am currently looking at a fighter. There is Hauler, Explorer, Solar. There's no Sentinel, and there's no Science Vessel, I don't think. So one thing I would recommend doing is you want to start looking at what you'd like to get. Now, these are all the cockpits you can get. There's some pretty cool ones. You want to make sure you have a reactor. So if you want a C-Class, a B-Class, an A-Class, an S-Class. You also want to look at which wings you'd like. There's quite a few of them, so it's kind of hard to pick. And you're also going to want to pick your thrusters. So now this is pretty easy. You get the tri, the single, and then the 3 square one. I already have some of those parts, so I already have an idea what I want to make. And I already have the reactor as well. So let me show you real quick. If you want to get a reactor, you need to have a decent amount of nanites. And you got to talk to the Starship Merchant at space stations. Not pirate ones. You won't find them there. And they can actually sell you the reactors for nanites. Another thing you can do too is you actually can get reactors from the Nexus in the anomaly. So I'll see if I can find an example for you. And once you kind of have, you know, the ship kind of style you want to make, you're going to have to search for those parts. So for instance, so say I want that engine. Let's go over here. So say I like that engine. This is a B-Class, so I would not buy a B-Class if I was you. If you want to acquire the engine or the wings or the actual cockpit, you'll have to buy the ship outright and then bring it over to the actual salvage area. So let's see, is that a C-Class? That's an A-Class. Dang, okay. I'll show you real quick. So let's say this ship here has what you want. So you have to come to the actual ship salvage unit or starship outfitting. You want to go to Begin Salvage Analyst. You can claim it for scrap or extract customizable parts. If I do this, you're going to give a choice to salvage the cockpit, wings, or engines. Once you do this, you do not get any other parts. You just get that one part, and that's it. There's no money, there's no parts you get. You don't get anything. So I do recommend, if you're going to do this, do not buy like a B or an A class unless you don't care. Unless you find a ship that you really like the part on there and you can't find it elsewhere. Then I guess you would want to do that. But if you could find a C class, I would recommend doing that instead of buying a higher tier ship. Currently, I already have all that I need, so I'm actually going to summon my vehicle here. And as you can see here, I do have an A-Class reactor, an S-Class reactor, and then I have a tri-booster. I'm going to call it a square tri-booster, the Vector. And I also have these swept wings. And I have this one as well, and then the needle fuselage, which is like a needle cockpit. I think we're going to be rocking is this one, and this. And then I'm going to use an S-Class reactor. So this will be my build that I'm going to go with. I did grab these just in case I wanted to change it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and head over to the Starship Fabricator. So as you can see here, we're going to have actual things. So you need to make sure that either your parts that you want to make are in your purse, like on your actual exosuit, or they're in your ship that you have currently available. So you're going to go ahead and just start putting stuff on. And then we're going to do I think we'll do the tri-booster. I think that'll work. So as you can see here, we have our ship already made. And you can change different colors. I'm going to do metallic because I really like how it looks. So I think what I'm going to kind of go with is kind of a gray, white, and red. And there's all different kinds you can use. I could actually do a dark red. Actually, that'd be kind of cool. Maybe a white. Yeah, that might be actually really, really nice to match kind of what we're doing. So once you found the parts that you like and you kind of have a good setup, you're just going to go to Assemble. And then you're going to be given this. Now, you can spin it around, see if you really like it. Now, I think this looks pretty sweet. But for Ahas, let's actually change out the... Let's go to the thruster. Let's see how that looks. And also for Ahas again, let's go ahead and put it on this one. So this one looks kind of plain. Let's go to assemble. Again, we'll just do a quick little spin around. Too bad. But I think I like the other wings better. Let's put those away. Let's grab those. And I do think the tri-booster is a much better look for that. We could also go for a white wing and a dark red little marker here. But I think I actually like the dark red more. I'll do a little white there. So let's go ahead and assemble this. Again, I think this looks pretty good. I would like to get black, but I don't currently have black. Like I said, you can get self-paint, ironclad, titan strips. So this is stuff that you have to get through expeditions, which I didn't do these, so I kind of missed these rewards. Ironclad has a nice dark colors, which are sweet. Stealth paints are pretty cool too, and stripes, I just missed stripes. I started doing the expedition, but I didn't get far enough because I didn't realize I didn't have much time. But there is different colors you can get, and again, I believe these pop up throughout the year maybe. They might have as rewards for something or whatever be the case. So it's not like they're lost forever, which is kind of nice. So I think I'm pretty happy with this build currently. So let's go ahead and assemble. I'm going to proceed. I'm going to add to my collection. And as you can see, there is our ship in its all its glory. Can I go over here? There we go. I think this actually looks really sweet. And I really like the needle fuselage, which is like the cockpit. I think that looks really, really cool. Alright, so now that we actually have our own ship, we can go ahead and hop into it. Oh shoot, you know what I forgot to do? Can you change the name? You also can change the name of your ships, which is pretty cool. Let's do that for now. I'll probably change it later, but that's easy for now. Boost out of here. So now we officially made our own S-Class ship, which is freaking awesome. So now I can actually take time and actually upgrading it to what I'd like to, because S-Class gives you a lot more slots. Let's go ahead and go into cam mode real quick and get a better look at this. I do like that the metallic gray actually kind of has this really nice look to it. Almost looks like a darker color, which kind of like brings out the red a little more. And I do like these wings. I generally wouldn't... I do like these kind of wings because I do want to make kind of a fast-paced fighter in a sense. So I kind of felt this build was going to be really good. We have the tri-boosters in the back that I think fit really well with these wings. It actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So now I can actually go ahead and upgrade the crap out of this. So let's head back in and let's actually do some major upgrades to this ship. Alright, so now that we are back in the space station, we have an S-Class there, which is really exciting. I'm very happy about that. What I want to do now is I actually want to start putting in parts. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to pull out my original ship that I've been using quite a bit. Go over here, switch to this one here. And I'm going to start pulling these parts off this one here. Especially like stuff like this. So you can go ahead and remove... This is why I recommend, if you know you like a kit on a certain ship, I would recommend make sure you take all the stuff off first. And especially the guns themselves too. For instance, I don't think our thing had a rocket. I'll still have to make one else, that's okay. I'm running out of space right now, but that's okay. Oops. Grab this as well. So now I've pretty much stripped this ship down to what I want it to be. And what I'm actually going to have to do is I'm going to have to move some stuff into a different ship real quick. Alright, so we got our ship back now that we just made. So now what I can do is I actually can start moving some stuff over to this one. There we go. Alright, so now we're back at this ship. And I'm going to throw all these things into this ship as well. Now we can actually start building our ship out properly. So currently we have nothing in here. So what I'm going to go through is I'm actually going to start putting on stuff like this. So let's go ahead and install the deflectors. We'll put that over here. So now I got all my weapons in here. And as you can see, I'm out of space now, which is very unfortunate. So not to worry though. We have plenty of items to actually put in here. So what we're going to do, we'll take this thing out for a quick spin. And we're going to come over to my storage too. Now I have 5 storage augmentation. Put in my exosuit. It's going to be super good for us. So now what I have to do, I'm going to head back to the space station. Alright. So now that I have the augmentations, I want to come over to the Starship Outfitter, which is going to be when you first fly into a space station. Again, has to be a civilian one, not a pirate one. It's going to be in the left-hand corner. Go over here. And what I can do is I can go to upgrade Starship. And I can apply augmentation. And you actually can go ahead and apply these everywhere. So apply 1. So now if I look at my Starship, I have way more space now. And we got extremely lucky. We actually have 2 supercharged slots, which is great. So actually this works out really well. Let's see, that's 23, 30. So actually we're going to pop this over here, put that there. 1, 23, 38. So the reason why I'm actually putting, I want to pay attention to the numbers. So for instance, if I put this down here, this says plus 30% shield strength, this says plus 23, and this says plus 21. This will actually increase that those points by a lot. So I want to make sure I use my higher number one to actually do that. So now we get plus 38, which is really good. Now we're almost at 300, which is great. What we also can do, we kind of did that over here as well. And as you keep upgrading, you could actually get more slots that are overcharged. I don't believe you can just overcharge them whenever you want, which is kind of a bummer. Oops, I didn't mean that. So now that we got this fully kitted out, I'm going to head to the pirate location and see if I can get some black market items that could potentially give my rockets more damage. I'm also going to be looking for some more condensed carbon, so I might head to a base camp real quick just so I can repair and get this rocket launcher all set and ready to go. So I'm going to do that real quickly, and then we'll get back into it. Alright, so we are back at the pirate space station. I got my condensed carbon, so now I have my rockets, which is great. So now what my plan is, I'm actually going to go and check out the vendor here who sells like random black market items. So let's walk over there real quick. I believe it's this guy here who sells the black market items. Yeah, cool. So in pirate locations, you can have someone like this where they sell black market items, which is great. You can get them whenever you want. One thing I'm hoping to find is some rocket upgrades, but I'm not seeing any currently. That is a major bummer. Nothing there. So sadly, I didn't get what I wanted, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. I think what we might actually do, though, because we have the extra space, I might actually go and unlock the phase beam. I really would like to get some upgrades for this, but maybe you can't get upgrades for rockets? I'm not sure now. So I'll have to do some research on that. So I'm going to head up to the upgrade zone. I'm going to try and buy the phase beam, because I do have some upgrades for that, so we can throw that in here now that I have extra space. I actually am going to do some research on the rockets to see if I can get upgrades for that. I may not be able to, and that's totally okay. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and head up there real quick. Okay, cool. So I can do that one, which is good. So let's go ahead and grab that. That'll be an instant upgrade for our rockets. Let's grab the phase beam. There we go. So now what I can do is I can actually go ahead and grab this. I can slap on that. I don't have the things on me right now, but I do have them elsewhere. We can slap this on as well. I have plenty of looms back at base. So now I actually can get some upgrades on my rockets, which is going to be great. So the heat, when you shoot this off, you'll have a cooldown. This mod will actually reduce it by 20%, which is great. All right, so I think that is it for now. We got our brand new ship. It's an S-class, so that's going to be great. It looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. I think I do like the darker color in the front there with a little bit of white and red in there. I think it looks really good. We have all our weapons we've been using. We also have some additional upgrades coming down the pipeline and some additional weapons as well. So I'm looking very much forward to this. So hopefully this is helpful. Hope you enjoyed. You got to see me build out my newest starship that I'm very happy about. This is pretty stoked. I actually got pretty lucky with this needle nose. I'm pretty sure our needle cockpit, that's actually kind of rare, I feel like. And I think it actually looks really well with these wings as well. So I'm very happy about that. Not able to do as much with the coloring, just due to me not having everything unlocked, but I think it's okay for what it is. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm actually enjoying it very much. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hope you got a chance to understand how building your starship is. Any questions or suggestions, throw them in the comments below. And if you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button. And thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.